Hey everyone, welcome back to WRC9. We're going to be taking a look at my settings for the Logitech G29 racing wheel. I don't do force feedback videos for very many games, but I do for the WRC series because we all know that in the past they have been very bad out of the box. With a few hours of tweaking, I was able to get a really nice feel. How is 9 out of the box? Well, it is better than 8, but there are still some forces and some vibrations that are too strong and others that are too light. So I'm just going to go quickly through my settings, and hopefully this will help you get a better feeling with this game. As far as the overall force is going, the first one up there, I leave that at 100. Because I don't want to amplify or diminish any other force because of increasing the overall gain. Max wheel angle, by the way, I play with 480, and it's grayed out again, just like it was in WRC 8. I have to set this through the Logitech control panel. I don't know why, but it works. So yeah, I play with 480, and when I play with the R5 cars, sometimes I'll go up to 520 or 540, but that's all personal taste. Just keep in mind that your max wheel angle might affect the force feedback output with the settings that I'm giving you right now. So overall force at 100. Self-aligning torque, I turn this up a little bit. Obviously, this is the most important force in any racing sim or racing game. And I do find the self-aligning torque at 100 a little bit too weak, so I did turn it up 115. To me, it feels really good at that point. And the next one, tire load, 100. This one I just left it at 100. This is what gives you the sensation of the forces that are building up against the tire walls and releasing. I found 100 to be really good, just a perfect balance for that. Now, self-center, just like the past games, this is another one I've had to turn way down. Whereas in the past, it's been just this totally artificial force that's trying to center your wheel all the time. In WRC 9, it's much more intuitive as to how it affects the wheel. So this is a force that tries to correct the direction of the wheels when they're turning. And in past games, it felt very artificial, but this time it feels a lot better. But I still had to turn it way down. So they've improved the self-centering feeling, but I think, in my opinion, it still needs to be turned down quite a bit. And the recenter force, I left it at 100. That's just when you go off track and get reset, so that really doesn't matter. Now, onto the vibrations. Just like the force, I left the overall vibration at 100. Tire slip, I had to turn it way down because the vibration is just absolutely absurd when you are sliding. So I've got that all the way down to 35. I turned the suspension effects a little bit down too because you get a little bit too much rumbling, constant rumbling when you're at 100. And these are all canned effects. They're not coming out of the physics. And with suspension at 100, you can definitely tell that your wheel is just rumbling just for the hell of it because the game thinks it's cool for you, every time you're going over a bump or on the road surface that it should vibrate. I don't believe that's correct, so I've got that turned down a little bit. Suspension, you might even be able to turn that even farther down than 85 if you want. Same thing with ground surface. I felt that kind of went in hand with the suspension, so I also turned the ground surface down. The engine I've got maxed out at 150. Why? Because this game actually allows you to feel when you change gears. So I like feeling the gearbox. That gives me a little bit of a Richard Burns rally kind of feel to it. So I turn that all the way up. And then collision, I've got that down to 50 because that just seems like a completely unnecessary vibration, and it is very strong, so I do want to protect my wheel. So there you go. Those are my force feedback settings for WRC 9. It only took me a couple hours to dial this in. With WRC 8, I was at least 3 times that amount of time to get it dialed in. So I hope it helps you out, and if you have any questions or you have any suggestions, you found something better, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.